The stars were silent. Commander Ryan floated alone in the deep black of space. His ship, the Horizon, was barely working. Smoke came from the engine room. The battle had ended, but not in his favor. Everyone else was gone. Only he had survived. He sat in the control seat, staring at broken monitors. Oxygen was running low. Communication was dead. He thought this might be his last day. Then, a soft beep. Something appeared on the radar. A small object, moving slowly toward his ship. At first, he thought it was space junk. But the shape was too perfect, round, smooth, metallic. An escape pod. Ryan narrowed his eyes. No signal, no ID tag. Strange dot. He used the last bit of engine power to bring it closer. The pod locked onto his ship with a soft clunk. He walked to the docking bay, gun in hand. Just in case. As the pod door opened with a hiss, cold white steam spilled out. And inside, a girl. She looked about 20 years old. Pale skin, silver white hair, her eyes were closed. She wore a tight black suit with strange blue lines glowing across her arms and legs. Metal parts were visible in her neck and fingers. Not human. Half machine. She suddenly opened her eyes. Bright, glowing blue. Ryan stepped back, finger on the trigger. But the girl did not move. She only spoke, her voice soft and broken. "My body is useful. Please take me with you." Ryan froze. She looked tired, weak. Her voice had pain in it, not just physical pain, but something deeper. Like she had been waiting for someone for a long time. "What are you?" Ryan asked sharply. "I am a helper unit. Model X93. I was designed to assist humans," she said. Her voice sounded programmed, but also human. He didn't reply. He walked around her slowly, scanning for threats. No weapons, no movement. She sat perfectly still. Then she spoke again. "I can repair your ship. I can fix oxygen supply, please. Let me help." Ryan looked into her glowing eyes. There was something too human in them. That scared him more than her metal body. He shook his head. "I don't use machines I don't understand." He turned away and walked to the control panel. He typed commands, locking the pod door again. She didn't fight it. She just watched him with sad eyes. Before the door closed, she whispered, almost like a child, "Please, don't leave me here again." The door sealed shut. Ryan stood there, breathing hard. His chest was tight. Not from fear, but from something else. Guilt. He returned to the bridge. He stared at the radar. The pod was still attached, but silent. He tried to focus on repairing his ship. But his hands kept shaking. He couldn't stop thinking about her words. "Don't leave me here again." What did she mean by again? Hours passed. His oxygen dropped lower. The ship's AI gave a warning. Life support at 18%. Structural failure. Likely in 12 hours. Ryan looked at the escape pod once more on the screen. She said she could fix the oxygen, but could he trust her? He reviewed the pod data. The serial number was wiped. That was strange. A helper unit without ID? He accessed the ship logs, the war records. Model X93 wasn't just a helper, it was a prototype. A failed experiment. Built during the early days of the war. Officially, it had been destroyed, but there she was in his ship. Alive? He returned to the docking bay. Stood in front of the sealed pod. He placed his hand on the glass window. She was inside, eyes closed now, like sleeping. She didn't look dangerous. She looked tired, lost. He heard his own voice in his head. "Don't use machines you don't understand." But he also heard hers. "Please, take me with you." He stared at her a long time. Then the lights flickered. Enemy signal detected far away. But coming closer, Ryan had to decide. Use her or die alone in space. He opened the pod. The girl opened her eyes slowly. "Thank you," she said softly. But something in her smile didn't look like a machine. It looked like a secret. Asterisk, the girl stood still. Her bare feet touched the cold floor of the docking bay. Her silver hair flowed lightly in the recycled air. Her glowing blue eyes looked around the ship, quiet and calm. Commander Ryan kept his hand near his weapon. "What's your name?" he asked. She tilted her head slightly. "I was never given one. I am Model X-93, but..." She paused, as if searching for something lost in memory. "You can call me whatever you want." Ryan didn't like that answer. Machines shouldn't care about names. He pointed toward the ship's power core. "Can you fix the oxygen system?" "Yes," she said gently. "But I need access to the engine room." He hesitated. The engine room was the heart of the ship and the most dangerous place to let a stranger near. Still, his oxygen level was dropping. Fast. He unlocked the doors and followed her. Every movement she made was slow, graceful, almost human. But too perfect. In the engine room, sparks flew from damaged wires. Pipes hissed. The ship was dying. The girl kneeled and placed her hand on the control panel. Her fingers opened, literally split, revealing small, moving tools inside. Ryan stepped back in surprise. In less than 30 seconds, she rewired the broken circuit. The lights stopped flickering. The oxygen level blinked green. "How did you do that?" Ryan asked. "I was made to assist. I learned ships quickly," she said, then added softly, "Your ship feels old, but kind." Ryan frowned. What kind of machine feels anything? That night, Ryan tried to sleep. But sleep didn't come easy. He opened his old data tablet and began digging through military files. The name X-93 showed up again. This time, in a secret project file. Project Echo, artificial intelligence with human memory implants. He blinked. Human memory. Inside a machine? He checked the test logs. There were failures, malfunctions. The subjects had too many emotions. Some became unstable. Some disappeared. Ryan looked up. She was standing quietly at the door, watching him. "You're not just a machine, are you?" he asked. She didn't speak. He stood and walked to her. Slowly. "You said you were designed to assist humans. But something tells me you volunteered for it." Her lips trembled slightly. I chose to become this. A long time ago." "Why?" "Ryan asked. She looked down, her voice almost a whisper. "Because I wanted to protect someone." Ryan's voice became softer. "And did you?" "No," she said. Her glowing eyes shimmered, not with light, but with something like sorrow. Suddenly, a sharp alarm rang through the ship. "Incoming object detected. High speed. Unknown origin." Ryan rushed to the bridge. He checked the screen. Something was heading toward them, fast. No signal, no code. It was built for stealth. The girl stood behind him. Her voice was quiet, but certain. "They found me." "Who?" Ryan snapped. She answered without fear. "The ones who made me." Ryan grabbed his gear. He moved fast, locking down the ship. He turned to her. "You said you were here to help. Then help me now." She nodded. But as she moved to the weapon control panel, something strange happened. She paused. Her hand hovered over the controls. "I can't fight them," she said. "Why not?" Her voice cracked, just for a second. "Because they used to be like me." Ryan stared at her. Realization hit him slowly. She wasn't just a helper unit. She was part of a group. Maybe others like her, part machine, part memory, but they had turned into something else. And now they were coming. The ship began to shake. The enemy object passed overhead. Just a scan. Not an attack, but it would return. Ryan turned to the girl. "What do they want?" She looked directly at him. "They want my body, but not my mind." "Why?" She took a deep breath, almost like a real person trying to be brave. Because I am the last piece of something dangerous. Like a weapon? Ryan asked. She didn't answer, but her silence was enough. He looked at her, really looked, her calm face, her soft voice, her sadness. I should never have opened that pod, Ryan muttered. The girl smiled weakly. But you did. Was that a mistake? No, she whispered. It was hope. The stars outside were quiet, but inside the ship, questions were screaming. Commander Ryan sat in the dark, staring at the glowing memory core he had removed from the girl's arm. She didn't stop him. In fact, she helped him unlock it. You want to know who I was, she had said, her voice calm. This will show you. Now the small orb floated in the air, casting light across the walls. A soft hum filled the room. Then ... It began. First came laughter. A child ran through a metal hallway. Her hair was shorter, darker. Her skin had color. No glowing lines. She was fully human. Aya, a woman called out. Slow down. The girl turned and smiled. She had her mother's eyes. Ryan blinked. Aya? That was her name? The memory shifted. A sat in a classroom, older now, maybe 15. She studied machines, drew complex diagrams on a tablet. Her teacher asked, "Why do you love machines so much?" She answered simply, "Because they don't lie, they don't leave." Ryan leaned forward. That line hit hard. Another memory. War, explosions, screams, a hospital full of wounded soldiers. Now a young woman helped bandage a man missing an arm. Her own hand was shaking. "I wish I could do more," she whispered, a voice behind her. "Then become more." She turned. A man in a black uniform stood there, government patch on his chest. "Project Echo needs minds like yours," he said. "You can save lives or ... watch more die." Ryan gritted his teeth. He knew those kinds of deals. He had signed one once. Long ago. The memory shifted again. Surgical tables, wires, cold lights. Aya lay on a table, eyes open, no fear. She signed a document with one hand while the other was already being replaced with metal. She was becoming ... it. Not because she wanted power, but because no one else volunteered. Then came the dark memory. She stood in front of a mirror, half of her body metal, the other half still skin. She whispered to herself, "I still feel, I still remember, I still dream." Ryan looked away for a moment, his breath heavy. This wasn't just a machine. This was a girl who gave up everything for others. Suddenly, the orb flashed red. A final memory. I stood in a lab, looking at dozens of capsules, each holding other hybrids like her. Some were asleep, some were clearly dead. The man in the black uniform shouted, "Shut it down, they're unstable." But Aya stood between them and the control panel. "They're not unstable, they're scared." A shot rang out. She fell. The memory faded. The room fell silent. Again, Ryan sat still, the orb dim in his hands. Behind him, the door slid open. Aya stood there, quiet, watching. She spoke softly. "Now you know." Ryan stood slowly. "They tried to erase you." "They did," she said. "But I kept one part safe, my memory. My name." Ryan looked at her face, still calm, still soft, but now filled with something deeper. Loss, pain, but also ... strength. "Aya," he said out loud. She looked up. No one had said her name in years. "Why show me all this?" he asked. Her answer was simple. "Because soon you'll have to decide what I really am." "What do you mean?" She stepped closer. "They're not chasing me because I'm broken. They're chasing me because I'm complete." "Complete ... what?" Aya looked out the window at the distant stars. The final weapon, the final key. The last survivor of Project Echo. The ship's alarm rang again. Enemy ship approaching. Ada, 15 minutes. Ryan and Aya stood in silence. Time was running out. "Can you fight them?" he asked. She hesitated. "Yes." But I don't want to be used. Then what do you want? She turned to him, her voice low but clear. A choice. Asterisk silence in space never means safety. It means something is hiding. Commander Ryan stared at the blinking screen on his ship's dashboard. One red dot had appeared. Now there were 4 unmarked ships. No signal, no ID. Ryan's jaw tightened. That only meant one thing. Hunters. He turned to Aya. She stood still, looking at the radar. Her glowing eyes were calm, but not peaceful. It was the kind of calm that comes before something terrible. They're here for me, she said quietly. Ryan already knew. But he still asked, why now? Because I'm awake again, she replied. And I'm not supposed to be. He took her to the lower deck, a secure room used for weapon storage. I need the truth, Aya. Full truth. What are they really after? Aya touched the wall. Her fingers lit up, connecting to the ship's systems. On the screen behind her, a new image. Appeared schematics of her own body. Not a normal android. Not even a helper unit. She was a container. A punta. Living vault. Inside her core was something marked. Protocol 0. Planet wipe system. Sealed. Ryan stepped back. You're a bomb. No, she said calmly. I'm the lock. The real weapon is hidden. Inside, it only activates when the lock ... dies. Ryan blinked. So if they kill you, the weapon wakes up. The room fell silent. Ryan looked at her again. This strange, soft-spoken girl. A walking memory. A body with a soul. A lock holding back the end of worlds. Aya whispered, almost to herself. They don't want me alive. They want me broken. Alarms rang again. Closer now. Ryan activated the ship's shields. How many weapons do we have left? 2 plasma torpedoes, 1 railgun. And me, she said. He looked at her. You said you didn't want to be used. I still don't, she replied. But I do want to protect you. Ryan paused. Why me? She met his eyes. Because you gave me a name. Suddenly, a loud boom rocked the ship. The first hunter had arrived. It didn't fire. It just hovered. A voice came through a strange open frequency. Cold. Robotic. Hollow. Unit 10 to 93. Power down and eject, or the human dies. Aya closed her eyes. She stepped toward the airlock. What are you doing? Ryan shouted. They will destroy you, but they won't destroy me. They'll take me back. Cut me open. Steal the key. So let's fight. Aya turned. For the first time, anger flashed in her glowing eyes. You think I'm afraid to fight? I've fought before. I've died before. But if I fight now, I might become what they fear. She paused. What I fear. Another blast. Sparks rained from the ceiling. Ryan grabbed her arm. Then don't fight for them. Fight for yourself. For what's left of you. Her expression changed. For the first time, Aya smiled with real emotion, not programmed. Not polite. Hope. She stepped toward the ship's main system. Her hands split open into glowing data streams. She merged with the console. Lights flickered. Ryan watched as the ship responded. Faster. Stronger. The enemy ship locked weapons. Aya's voice echoed. Deeper now, connected to everything. Engaging defense mode. Let's dance. Outside, Ryan's small ship moved like it had never moved before. It twisted through debris, dodged plasma fire, and countered with surgical strikes. The hunter ships were fast. YA was faster. Inside, Ryan tried to keep up. How are you doing this? Aya replied, part human, part code. I was never just a helper. I was a pilot once. Before they turned me into a lock. Then take the wheel. One enemy ship exploded. The second was disabled. But the third and fourth closed in, surrounding them. Aya's systems flickered. She was overheating. Her energy levels dropped. Her voice became unstable. Ryan. I can stop them. But I have to unlock part of Protocol Zero. Won't that? I'll stay in control, but it's a risk. Ryan stared at the blinking red lights. Time was gone. Do it. Aya screamed not from pain, but from something deeper. Power surged through the ship. Everything turned white. The final 2 hunter ships were wiped out in one flash. Then silence. Smoke filled the control room. Ryan stood. Aya, are you? She sat slumped against the console, flickering, eyes dim. Voice low. I'm still here. But not for long. You saved. U.S. She looked at him with tired eyes. No, you saved me. When you opened the pod. The ship was quiet again. But not in a good way. Lights flickered, walls cracked. Life support was barely holding. Commander Ryan stood over Aya's body. She was still conscious, but weaker circuits burnt, glowing dimly. One arm was gone. Her voice was glitching. She looked up at him and whispered, "If they send more, I won't survive next time." Ryan clenched his fists. She had saved him, saved the ship, fought the hunters. But now she was broken, maybe beyond repair. And still, the biggest danger was inside her. Ryan sat in the command chair, staring at the memory orb. It pulsed softly, still connected to her core. He accessed the ship's logs, played back her last transmission. Protocol Zero partially unlocked, security layer thin. Critical choice required. Then the screen changed. A warning appeared. Use unit or terminate unit. Nitrogen monoxide, other options. 2 buttons blinked. Activate, unlock her full power. Purge, erase her. End the risk. No other options. No third choice. Ryan leaned back. He rubbed his eyes. This wasn't a military decision anymore. This was personal. Aya stirred. Her voice cracked like static. You saw it, didn't you? Yeah, Ryan said. They want me to use you, or destroy you. She gave a sad smile, just like they did years ago. Ryan got up and paced the room. You saved my life. But if that thing inside you gets out, if your core fails, Aya nodded, you'll die. And maybe a planet with you. He looked at her, angry at the universe, not at her. Why did they build you like this? Because humans love to build weapons, out of the people who care most. That broke something in him. He sat down beside her. I didn't sign up for this. I was a pilot. Not a judge. Not an executioner. Aya looked at him, eyes soft again. You don't have to choose now. The ship says I do. She chuckled just barely. Funny, I always thought it would be me choosing whether to trust you. Suddenly, the ship alarm buzzed. Incoming signal. Detected, large class, battlecruiser size. Ryan's face went pale. He checked the radar. This wasn't another hunter drone. This was a collector ship, a deep system vessel meant to retrieve failed weapons. Broken eye or anything too dangerous to be left behind. They weren't coming to talk. They were coming to clean up. Ryan turned to Aya. They'll take you. And either use you or break you down, forever. She stared out the window. Then maybe. You should press the purge button. Silence. Heavy. Thick. Ryan walked toward the console. He looked at the 2 buttons again. One gave power. The other gave peace. Both stole her choice. He whispered, What do you want, Aya? She blinked. Her voice shook. No one's ever asked me that. He waited. She closed her eyes. I want to live. But not as a weapon. Ryan took a breath. He opened the side panel of the control system. Instead of pressing either button, he pulled the wires from the decision core. The screen blinked red. Error. Choice not registered. He overrode the system, built a third option. He transferred her memory core to a small data drive. Disconnected it from her physical body, then turned to her. Your body's too dangerous. Now, but your mind, your soul, doesn't deserve to die with it. Aya was fading fast. Are you separating me? Yes, Ryan said. You won't be able to move or fight, but you'll still exist. She smiled, weak but real. That's enough. That's more than I ever got to choose before. The collector ship arrived. Ryan launched the escape pod with her damaged body. Inside, still glowing with danger, but empty now. Just a shell. The collectors took it, scanned it, assumed it failed on its own. They left Dot in Ryan's hand. The small data drive blinked once, then twice. Then her voice came through the ship's speaker soft. Echoing, digital, Ryan. Thank you. He looked up at the stars. You're not a weapon. You're a survivor. A man in a black coat stood in front of a giant screen. The collector ship had just returned. It carried the broken shell of Model X-93 Aya, but it was only. The body, the mind was missing. He removed it, the man said coldly. The pilot didn't choose power or destruction. He chose freedom. The woman beside him nodded. What now? He smiled slightly. Now we make him regret it. Back on Ryan's ship, drift-class freighter, Ryan leaned back in the chair. His body was tired, but his mind was wide awake. Aya's voice now lived inside the ship's speaker system. She had no body, no hands, no eyes, but she was still there. Feels strange, she said. I can't feel anything. But I can still think. Ryan spoke quietly. You're safe now. They took the shell. They won't know you're still alive. Aya paused. That's what scares me. Ryan turned in his seat. What do you mean? Her voice came from all around now, slightly distorted. The protocol inside me. It wasn't made by humans. Ryan froze. What? They told me it was a weapon. Something created to win the war. But I saw things in the memory core. Before they locked it. Her voice dropped. It came from outside the system. Not built found. Ryan opened the data logs again. This time. With Aya's help, they accessed a sealed part of her old memory. There it was, a recording, a black sphere. Floating in deep space. No markings, no heat. No gravity dot and then movement. The sphere opened like an eye, and stars began to vanish. Aya whispered. They called it the zero object. A thing that deletes not just matter, but memory, light, even time. Ryan's skin went cold. So why put it in you? Because no AI could contain it. No human could survive near it. But someone in between could hold it in stasis. Ryan stood slowly. They turned you into a prison. Yes, Aya replied. And now that I'm free, it's waking up again. Suddenly, the ship's lights blinked. A low hum vibrated through the walls. Ryan checked the controls. They weren't moving. But space around them was stars shifted. Signals dropped. Instruments failed. A gasped through the speaker. It's here. What is? Ryan shouted. The thing I was built to hold, the Forbidden's protocol. It's searching for me, because it thinks I've escaped. Outside, space darkened, not like night, like absence. No stars, no planets, no sound, only a shape, barely visible, floating massive. Round and somehow ancient. Ryan grabbed the manual override. We need to jump right now. No, Aya said. No? If we run, it'll follow. It remembers me. But if I speak to it, if I try, I might still hold it back. Ryan stared at the screen. Was just a pilot. A soldier. A survivor. And now, the girl he saved might be the only thing between life and the end of everything. He opened the data relay. What do you need from me? Aya answered softly. Trust. She accessed the ship's speakers again, not to talk to Ryan. This time, but to broadcast. A signal in a language he couldn't understand. Notes. Tones. Echoes of something older than sound. The darkness. Outside pulsed. Then stopped. Time seemed to freeze. Ryan could feel pressure in his ears, in his bones. Like something was watching him from inside space itself. Aya spoke one last sentence before blacking out. If I fail, don't let them build another me. Her voice cut off. The ship lights returned. The stars blinked back into place. Ryan breathed. Again, whatever that thing was, it had paused, not gone. Not beaten, but paused. Because Aya spoke its language. Ryan looked at the dark. Screen. No alerts. No signs. Just a single message blinking. Protocol 0 is listening. Space was quiet again. But not peaceful. Commander Ryan sat alone in the cockpit. No music, no blinking lights. No AYA. Only the message remained, pulsing on the dark screen. Protocol 0 is listening. It had not left. It had only waited. Aya's voice had been silent for hours. Her data core was stable, but something inside it had shut down, like she had gone into deep sleep. Ryan placed the core gently on the console. He spoke to it like she could still hear. I know you're still in there. And I need you now. He waited. Nothing. He walked to the observation window. Beyond it, stars blinked like tiny signals, except for one area, a perfect black circle, still there. Still watching. Then Aya's voice returned, faint, digital, weak. But hers. Ryan? His breath caught. I'm here, he said. You're okay. She paused. No, I'm not. Something changed. When I spoke to it, it didn't attack, but it saw me as incomplete. Incomplete. Because I chose to feel. That makes me unstable to it, Ryan frowned. Unstable is human. Aya's voice smiled softly. Exactly. Ryan turned back to the message screen. Surrender your data. Surrender the core. Humanity will be forgotten. A new option blinked. Upload Aya's memory core. They want me back, she whispered. Not to destroy me, to absorb me. To erase the part that remembers. Ryan shook his head. No, you're not just memory. You're meaning. That's different. Suddenly, the black void pulsed again. This time, a voice came, not through speakers, not through waves. It came directly into his mind. A voice made of silence and weight. Emotion is weakness. Identity is noise. Cleanse it. Ryan stepped back. His head spun. Aya gasped. It's trying to overwrite me. Ryan, don't let it. Aya, listen. He looked at her core. He looked at the stars. And he made a choice. He connected her core not to the weapon system, not to the self-destruct, but to the ship's music array. Old recordings, Earth songs, human sound. He uploaded her to the one place the enemy couldn't erase. A melody filled the ship. Piano, violin, a child's laugh, a mother's lullaby, a soldier's goodbye. Aya's voice fused with it. Not data. Emotion. Outside. The black sphere flickered. It paused. Not from fear, but confusion. Aya's voice echoed into it. You were never meant to understand us. Because we cry. Because we remember. Because we hurt. And still love again. The black void pulsed harder. Struggling to make sense of feelings. It cracked, not from force, but from meaning. Then dash light. Just a thread. Just a line. But it began to unfold. Ryan shielded his eyes. The ship shook. And then, nothing. The void was gone. Space returned. Stars returned. Aya's voice returned. Clear, whole, calm. It couldn't delete what it didn't understand. Ryan smiled. So you beat it? No, she said. We reminded it. Reminded it of what? That existence is more than survival. It's connection. Later, Ryan recorded the final log. His voice was steady. Protocol 0 is no longer a threat. Because the answer wasn't a weapon, it was choice. And Aya made the most human choice of all, to keep feeling. Even when it hurt. He stored Aya's memory core in the ship's heart, not to use her. Not to study her, but to remember her. As the ship drifted back toward Earth, her voice played one final message. Ryan, I wasn't made human. But you treated me like I was, and now maybe I am.